Let's make a video about the ArchLinux Tweak Tool. I've just made a video telling you guys that we now can boot up with on Wayland, with hyprland or with Sway. So that's thanks to the code of Fennec, who helped us. So that's appreciated, right? Any help is appreciated, but this was really appreciated because I did not find the solution. So yeah, now we have that done, and that kick-started my day today. And 8 hours later, I thought, let's make this BigLinux compatible as well. So BigLinux is Arch, but right, not really. So pacman minus SYYU is say, okay, that's Arch, but the packages are coming actually from Manjaro. It has Yay on board, so that we can do the ArchLinux Tweak stop. And number one, install it. And this is built right straight from the AWAR, Arch User Repository, or you use the ArcoLinux Spices applications that you will find on the https arcolinux.info website. Scroll down, we call it the Spices. Because that's what we do, right? Anything Arch based, you can get the spices in. You can get everything in, so everything works. So if we run this, there are several things to do. First of all, if you don't like the white thing, wait till you see it again if it reboots. So that changes like a chameleon. And in here we have a pacman. We can do all kinds of things, but if there are no keys, no mirrors, no nothing, so first of all we do this: install the keys, the mirrors, and activate. Auto reboot. And let's go over that as well. So like a chameleon, it changes because it sees, oh look at that, everything is black, so I'll go black as well. And all the rest, the lines and stuff like that, that's the theme, right? Not everything is programmed by developers. You can have a look at the code here where it says that we are on the distro BigLinux, and it also says that we're on X11. So this is new since the latest, since we're now compatible with Wayland. This is extra, so X11, so we're not on Wayland. That's the point. And we have extra support here, an extra line, an extra distro that we support. Okay, fine. So let's go over all the details, that the things that we've changed because of the fact that we are making this compatible. We found out also out this morning in a 2-hour video. We tested everything, and then we said, okay, we need to fix this, fix that, and all that. So one of the things that we encountered, I'm not going to go over everything, it's not the point to make it again a 2-hour video, but what did not go right, wrong, so and what did we change? So design, all kind of, this is just sudo pacman minus s, so installing stuff, it was no issue. But here we had an issue. If we want on BigLinux to have the awesome desktop with the configuration that goes with it, then there was an issue, and the issue was generated by us at this point in time. Oh yeah, we need to reboot. So quit ATT, or you can quit, or you can update the pacman databases. And let's see if that works. Desktop, install. Yep. So now it's up to date. So in order to be able to install something, pacman needs databases, right? And we've added, as you can see, Control T. If we do sudo pacman minus SYYU, then we wouldn't have that issue, because he needs all that. He needs to know what is where and how is it signed and all that. Now, you see there's already an update. The ArchLinux Tweak Tool that we've built ourselves comes from the AOR. This one comes from us, meaning ArcoLinux repos, and all the rest needs also an update. So yes, we're going to install everything, and no, we're gonna stop this ATT, get the new thing in with all the rest, mirror list, Celtic mirror list, the Celtic keyring, everything is in, and then we have what we have on an ArcoLinux system. Everything available, all stores ready to install all kind of things. What I mean with a store, right? We have the App Store and then the Google Chrome Store and all these stores. Well, ArchLinux has repositories, and we've added repositories to our system. The Pacman is the package manager, and we can add the personal repo from Eric Dubois with a click. With a click, right? And it's now changed. If I do Control T and I do an update again, in this case it's this one, right? Then you'll see that there is a Nemesis repo. All the packages, which is mainly icons, are now possible to install it, right? Because of the fact that now it's available. EndeavourOS repo, ArcoLinux repo, Excel repo, so extra large, NVIDIA repo, so drivers, and the Chaotix from Garuda, all there at your disposal if you want them. Okay, now everything is up and running. Nothing has been changed here, right? It's just the workflow you have to go through in order to understand why it's not working sometimes, or what do I need to do, right? Why is this here? And can I add extra custom repos? Yes. Copy paste from some kind of web page and then apply and done. Or a little bit more tricky, and then you'll find videos. So what did we change? We made sure that we can install all these things. So let's do another one. By way of example, we install BSPWM. And now we have BSPWM. As simple as that. With a click, anything Arch based, boof, is there. We've made sure that one of these lines is gone here, because we're not really on Arch, right? We can't ask, give us the best ArchLinux service. We keep that to BigLinux, let him take care of that. But all the rest is okay, can stay and will work. There were no issues, I think, with these things. This is new, I should mention this one. So Pacman has a number of parallel downloads. Let me do something first. Shells, install that one. Quit ATT, Control T, exec bash. So I've got my stuff. And what is stuff? This is stuff. And Pacman. So if you take a look, here it says parallel download 7. Well, in the past it did not read it. It just gave you an overview of numbers and say, just pick one, right? But if you picked it, it would not go and check how many is there. So now I've added this little line of code to say, go and figure out what is the number, right? So fixes, go figure out what is the number, and then display it. But if I want to have 5 and apply it, and I take something else here and Pacman, then it's now applied. 5 parallel downloads. And when I stop this ATT or reload it, restart it better, then it will go over all the files, see that it is 5, and tell that it's 5, right? So it reflects what's on your system. So that's an update. In Grub we have a lot to tell, so we're gonna finish with Grub. And login SDM is current active. Why? Because it used to say Manjaro, and in Manjaro we hide everything. Now it knows that's in BigLinux, and SDM is there available for you if you want to set things. Because one of the things that we do when we launch the ArchLinux Tweak Tool, we check out if there are configuration files. And what we did is create a new file. That's important to tell you for the BigLinux guys. So if you're on Plasma, Plasma provides 2 files in the sddm.confd, and if it's not available, and it was not available, then we create one, you see. But we create, of course, one with our theme and our default cursor. So we need to set it back. So let's log out, maybe that's the most interesting, and show you what's going on. If we log out, if you launched ArchLinux Tweak Tool, you're back to the default SDM, which is this blue thing, which is ugly. They should do something about it, because SDM is great. But the default theme, guys, come on. Yeah, this happens sometimes. I'm gonna not be patient. Right Control R, reboot. So that was Grub, right? You see the Grub thing there? We're gonna change it later on. That's what I mean with the blue thing. In the meantime, we can have a go at awesome, log in, and go for a Ctrl-T, a Super Enter, a Super Shift Enter, a Super D, or Super Shift D if available. With an escape and a Super X, we're back out. So any of our desktops is there at your disposal. You can explore BSPWM and still stay on Plasma. So Super Enter, Super Shift Enter, Super Control Q and Super Shift Q, a Super Q and Super Shift Q, yeah, I think I said it correctly. And then Super X, and we're out again. So know your key bindings, that's the message, right? It's always the same. So we've changed your SDM, and that's of course not okay. I'll see what I can do in the code about that. But thing is, it's easily solved. Because SDM is our login manager or our display manager, we have a tool. We go to login and we tell them, use the theme from BigLinux, right? These are the themes we have. These are all default stuff from SDM, and this is the one from BigLinux, and that's all we need to do. Set it back to BigLinux, and then maybe choose more cursors or something, but you can go back to the Breeze Snow, just like I think was the default. And that's it. If we quit and we ask nsdmk, then you'll see everything is changed. BigLinux and Breeze Snow, these two lines have been changed, which means you get a beautiful system to have a look at. So log out. Everything is back as it was. Not really, because we have access to Awesome and BSPWM, and the control center is there as well. Back in. So yeah, it has been an 8 hours work, so we did change a few things. Come on. There he is. Ctrl-T, ATT, and let's go on. What else did we change? So the login works fine. If you want to have another wallpaper, you can do that. I haven't tried that yet in the previous video, so let's try that. Select the background, quit ATT, and we log out. Let's see if that works. That was not successful. Log out. Log out. Alright, so nothing to do, that worked. Choose any of your own wallpapers and be super glad that that works. So Ctrl-T, ATT. So that's done. Mirrors. We figured out, or we found out better, that the Sweden repo was not in there, right? So the enable ACM repo free bandwidth for Sweden sync twice per day, which means if we do a narco mirror list, then we have these lines. So that means this will not be used because it's a paid server. That's the last one here. And the rest is because it's free. So GitLab, if we say Sweden, you're out, then things will change here. Sweden is out. Hashtag. And that's all it is, but we forgot it, so it's now in there. So Sweden, you're back in. So it goes really like this from top to bottom. See it as the layers in Photoshop, if that rings the bell. So the first one wins. The first one you get to wins always. And if this one does not have the package, then this one will try to find it, and this one, and so on. So look at where they're from and choose the one closest to you or the fastest to you. It doesn't always mean that the closest is the fastest. Okay, that's changed. Nothing to do here. Nope. Stayed out of there. Here as well. Privacy, no problem. Services, here we did some code inside the network. ArchLinux, ArcoLinux, BigLinux, EndeavourOS, Garuda, Manjaro. So wherever we are, on whatever ArchLinux system we are, if you want to connect to other computers and network attached storage devices, then we try one of those, right? One of those will work. Of course, we take the one from ArcoLinux because we know that works, but I give you the choice. Here are all the different versions of the file called etc nsc switch. Wow, let's do that again. N and then N switch. There's the content of this thing, and particularly this line, hosts, is different. And also here are a few different approaches of the distros. So voila, we've got the choice. We've got the freedom to see whatever works for us, and we just say apply BigLinux, which will not do anything, right? Because it's just exactly the same thing. But we can switch and see if now it works. And now it works. It's just a choice of different settings, variables that we can go over until finally, right, you can access your computers. Nothing changed here nor here. Shells, no, I kept out here as well. Everything worked. Terminals, no. Terminal fun, everything worked. Themer, everything worked. And user. I think we're at the end of the video, but I'm gonna quickly do a check in the code. Voilà. It's good that I checked because we need to finish with Grub. So Grub is nice and it's beautiful, and because of BigLinux, we change our code a little bit. If we go to etc default, and we have here a grub back with ck. We used to have a grub back with like this, but that's used for BigLinux. This basically shows us something from Manjaro. So sudo pacman -s sublime text 4 is the one I want. Thank you. Right mouse click, open with. Subl is enough, and you say open up. So this thing has something to do with an old file from Manjaro, which is not used. This one is used, however, and that's more complex. Look at that, right? That is more complex, and the backup should be exactly that, your backup. So since there was already a backup, everything skipped a beat basically, and we didn't have our real backup. So hence only this one has the name back with ck. That's important because we want to have to have backups. Our tool needs to be reversible. So if you install Grub, so there's already a beautiful Grub theme, you don't need to do this, but if you want to install the Grub Vmix tool, then you can, because in the end what matters mostly, I think, is the wallpaper, and of course the choices, but mostly the wallpaper. So in Grub we have lots of wallpapers already, and you can import more wallpapers if you want to. If you see something nice, you say, oh, that would be nice for a Grub, right? Then you just select them. So when we do this, apply the Vimix theme, then Grub, the default Grub, will be changed. Here it says so. This line has changed inside, and then so on and so on, and will update to Grub. What took me some time to figure out was how to reset to the original Grub theme. But before we reset, let's see what we changed. So this is the look from ArcoLinux. This is Vimix, not made by us, but changed by us, so to speak, modified to please us. But of course, thank you, new greeter. But of course, we can decide a totally different wallpaper. In the end, it's just a wallpaper, but the wallpapers we provide have been tested and work. Not all wallpapers work, right? So you can try it out, but I don't know. Let's take this one. Choose and apply wallpaper. That's enough from now on. And then we need to reboot and restart to show the Grub. And then we go and revert everything back. So that's nice as well. And there will be thousands of wallpapers then can fit, and maybe millions of wallpapers that will not work on Grub. So choose well and wisely. Well, let's go back and get everything back the way it was. And those were all the changes we've made. Some of them are for everyone, and some of them are really specific for BigLinux. So Grub, reset to original Grub theme. Takes a while. We've updated your Grub. This will stay here, right? In case you wonder and think, maybe I'll go back, right? But it stays there. But everything is back. There you are. I want to do one more thing. So this is the default BigLinux greeter. I'd like to revert to Ctrl-Alt-E. Does not work here yet. That's the key binding we have. So, ArchLinux Tweak Tool. I always do it like this, right? Maybe a good thing to tell you, there is this thing, right? There is this actual application to button. But as a developer, we want to see the code, and maybe you'd like to do that as well, because everything we try to, when you click a button, then it communicates here with you. It says we do sudo pacman -s, an example, right? You click on this thing and you say install selected icon themes, then you at least know what's going on your machine. Okay. So login I wanted to do, login. And what I wanted to show you is the BigLinux here, right? These are the options, but we can install missing ArcoLinux SEM themes. It's a meta package. Now, ArcoLinux Simplicity, Futuristic, all these guys are here, and we can immediately switch to it. Make sure that everything is set. So if you forget to set something, it will say you forgot this or you forgot that. But setting save successfully is what you like to see, of course. I think logout is enough. Let's see if that works. And there you are, right? And a wallpaper is quickly chosen as well here. And choose your desktop, and we're back in. And that concludes basically the updates of today, 1st of April. No, it's not an April fish or April Fool, a joke. It is really working. BigLinux is from now on supported. All right, cheers.